She drove that Lincoln straight into the steel post I'd buried in my lawn, and it folded her bumper like paper. Karen Mathis had been rolling over my grass for weeks like it was her God-given shortcut. That morning, the metal didn't move, but her front grille sure did. I stood there in my robe, coffee in hand, and I swear to you, I've never sipped anything smoother. When I bought the house in Hawthorne Bluffs, I wasn't looking for a fight. I'd had enough of those back in the service. I just wanted peace, space to plant tomatoes, stretch my legs, and not answer to someone measuring my mulch with a ruler. The land was mine, not part of any HOA, and I made sure. County records, lawyer review, all of it. But Karen didn't care about facts. She cared about control. She lived across the street, always dressed like she was going to a tennis club in the 80s, clipboard in hand like it was a badge. Day one, she marched over, told me I needed to harmonize my landscaping. I told her, politely, that I wasn't under HOA rules. She didn't like that, squinted like I'd told her I was building a rocket launch pad. It started slow. Tire tracks near the edge of my lawn, deep, ugly grooves. I thought it was a delivery truck at first until I saw her, Karen herself, casually cutting across the corner with her SUV to shave 5 seconds off her driveway turn. No apology, no shame, just steel rolling over my property like I didn't exist. I put up a tasteful sign. Private property, no vehicles. Next morning, gone. Found it in her trash bin. So I called the cops. Not 911, just a report. Officer looked like he still had acne. Told me unless damages topped $1,000, there wasn't much they could do. Civil matter, he shrugged. I'm not a man who likes escalation, but I don't fold either. I installed a motion-triggered camera up in my old maple tree, camouflaged, military style. Caught her in the act, again and again. Front tires crunching the edge, rear ones fishtailing just enough to make my gut boil. And then she upped the ante. Black garbage bags dumped by my back fence. HOA landscapers mowing my lawn, saying it was for visibility. A fake HOA survey arrived, claiming my front yard was a public easement. And guess who ran the bogus survey firm? Karen's nephew. Of course. I laughed when I found that out. But it wasn't funny anymore when someone cut my irrigation pipe clean in half. Middle of the night. Water pouring into the soil like a crime scene. Cameras caught a blurry figure with a ponytail slipping under the fence. I didn't need a facial ID. I knew her gait by now like I knew my own reflection. So I filed everything. Photos, footage, legal letters. Karen responded with a fake community poll and a bulletin implying I was mentally unstable. A lone vet snapping under the pressure. 2 city officers knocked on my door asking if I had weapons. I did, but that wasn't the point. I was done. I got a permit. Legal and stamped. Then I hired a guy to install 4 short yellow steel bollards, 6 feet in from the curb, right where her tires loved to wander. I didn't tell anyone. I let the steel speak. 3 days later, at dawn, came the crunch. That SUV collided with the post like a train on tracks. I didn't even flinch, just sipped my coffee, watching her climb out, heels clicking, red-faced, screaming at the air like it had betrayed her. She kicked the steel post. It didn't budge, but her pride sure cracked. She called the police again, accused me of sabotage, but this time I handed the officer a neat file. Permit, survey map, footage, timestamps. 10 minutes later, he was back across the street, issuing her a citation for reckless driving and property encroachment. She stared at me like I'd hexed her from the porch. I raised my coffee cup. No words. Just steel. Thought that'd be the end? Nope. Karen mailed out a revised survey showing my land as HOA shared space. A total fake. North arrow pointing the wrong direction. My lawyer traced the company back. Karen's nephew again. Then came the fire. Someone set a bag of trash on fire against my back fence at 2:47 a.m., flames licking the shed, inches from 2 gas cans. I had cameras. Footage was blurry, but the silhouette was hers. The cops took it seriously. Arson's a felony. Still no arrest. Yet. The next week, I sued her. Civil harassment, defamation, fraud, property damage, and malicious abuse of administrative power. The courtroom was packed. Neighbors, reporters, even other HOA board members. Karen showed up in white like she was headed to a funeral. We showed the judge everything. The fake maps. The trespassing footage. Her emails. Her nephew's shady business registration. A neighbor even testified. Swore Karen had said, "If he won't fall in line, I'll burn him out." The ruling? Karen Mathis, guilty on all counts. Ordered to pay $70,000 in damages. Removed from the HOA presidency. The HOA itself, forced to issue a public apology and bring in outside audit. She looked at me like I'd stolen her crown. I didn't even smile. I just walked out of that courthouse into the morning sun like a man who'd just won a war he never wanted to fight. Steel won't move for noise. It waits for the moment someone pushes too far. So tell me, was that justice or just revenge?